Well, tucked away in a corner of one of the halls is one of the rarest cars in the show, one of only 4 ever made, and here to tell us about it is John Wisher from the GT40 Enthusiast Club. John, this car is a remarkable find and in remarkable condition, but tell us a bit about the history.
Well, actually, Tim, this GT Roadster was built by Ford as a lightweight. It was initially tested at Le Mans in the early 60s. And subsequent to that, it was raced at the Targa Florio, Sir John Whitmore and Bob Bondurant. Unfortunately, Bob, in his stint, lost a wheel. That was put back on, and he later, unfortunately, lost the car on some loose tarmac. And there was very light damage to the car, but it was taken away to Slough and cut up, literally, and virtually in a lockup for many, many years. It's been recently resurrected, very, very recently, and had a superb restoration by Jelsko Motorsport. And as you see, they've resurrected the car to its former glory, and it's absolutely magnificent. And we're extremely proud to have the car on the stand.
Why did Ford only make so few Roadsters?
Well, it was in the early days, of course, and they were looking for light cars. And of course, the Roadster, as you can see, roof was taken away. It was made as light as it possibly could be, but of course in doing that it lost a bit of the torsional rigidity of the car, and that was one of the problems. And of course later on they built the car as you know it now as the GT40.
Well, of course, the GT40 is so named because the roof height was 40 inches. Yes. Presumably, this is really a GT39 and a half.
Well, yes, and in fact, the original car was GT39 and a half as well, so they rounded it up. Yeah. But yes, an absolutely magnificent car, and it's raced regularly as well, which is marvellous and a tribute to its own as well.
Well, when I was growing up and in shorts and sandals, my father had a GT40 that he actually club raced and rallied. It was the value of them then was almost like a second-hand newspaper. But of course, the value today is huge.
Well, yes, absolutely. I mean, you can pay towards £1 million and upwards of £1 million, depending on the history of the car. I wouldn't like to put a value on the Roadster, but it's well in excess of that.
Well, I'm looking for my top 10 cars of the show, and purely for the nostalgia of this car and its rarity, and for the fact that it's used, this is a definite contender.